Longing for brotherhood, the hidden yearning of sensitive men. It's a quiet evening, and a man sits alone with his phone, scrolling through his contacts. He pauses, thumb hovering, but never sends the message. It is not that he has no one in his life, it is that he has no one he can reach for in this moment of emotional weight. What he feels isn't just loneliness, it's a deep yearning, the hunger for an authentic connection with another man who can meet him emotionally, reflect him truthfully, and hold space without fixing him. For high sensitive men, this yearning can be especially acute. Conditioned by society to appear strong, rational, and detached, many sensitive men grow up emotionally isolated. Even in adulthood, with partners, jobs, and friendships, something often remains missing. What they crave is not just friendship, but a sense of brotherhood. We're going to explore today why authentic male friendships are so rare, why they matter deeply for HSP men, and what we can do to heal this wound. One powerful solution is already growing: the HSP Men's Group, a place where sensitivity becomes strength and connection becomes real. At the end of this video, I will include a link to how you can join this HSP Men's Group. The ache for meaningful friendship among men is one of the most under-discussed emotional realities in modern life. For in the 2024 report by the Harvard Graduate School for Education, Making Caring Common project, over 60% of young men reported feeling seriously lonely on a regular basis. Unlike women, who are often encouraged to nurture emotionally rich friendships, men tend to find themselves stuck in relational silos, bonded over activity but starved for emotional depth. Sensitive men are attuned to this gap from an early age. Many can recall childhood moments of connection, sharing secrets under a blanket, holding space during a hard moment, laughing with abandon. But by adolescence, these deep bonds fade. Cultural messages tell boys to toughen up, mock vulnerability, and distance themselves from softness. The yearning stays, but the channels to fulfill it vanish. This unmet need can manifest later as depression, anxiety, or a sense of dislocation, even in the presence of partners, colleagues, or acquaintances. Sensitive men often ask themselves, why do I feel so alone when I'm not alone? The answer may lie in how we've been taught to connect. Traditional models of male bonding are narrow and restrictive. They tend to center around shared activities such as sports, drinking, joking, or engaging in competitive talk. While there's nothing inherently wrong with these activities, they often lack emotional openness and personal vulnerability. They rarely invite men to be fully seen, especially in their emotional truth. HSP men are wired for introspection, emotional awareness, and empathy. They often find themselves disillusioned by surface-level banter or performative masculinity. Instead of connection, they feel more alone in groups that discourage emotional honesty. Dr. Niobe Way, a development psychologist, spent decades interviewing boys about their experiences with friendships. In her book, Deep Secrets, she reveals that many boys begin in middle school with intimate, emotionally expressive friendships. However, by high school, these friendships often wither as social pressures encourage them to repress their vulnerability to conform to masculine norms. These outdated models teach men to prioritize independence over intimacy and emotional control over openness. For sensitive men, this conditioning can be deeply wounding, cutting them off from the very type of connection they are biologically and psychologically predisposed to crave. The antidote to male loneliness is not more acquaintances or activities. It is vulnerability. Vulnerability is the bridge that turns proximity into connection and friendship into brotherhood. It is the key that unlocks the door to true male friendship. As Dr. Brene Brown states, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen. For men, and particularly HSP men, showing up emotionally, naming fears, expressing needs, acknowledging doubt, can be a revolutionary act. Practicing vulnerability does not mean sharing everything or crying in public. It can begin with simple but profound acts. Telling a friend you miss them. Sharing a challenge you're currently facing instead of brushing it off. Asking for help. Saying I need connection without shame. The response might surprise you. Men often hunger for permission to drop the armor. Vulnerability gives that permission and sets a tone others can follow. We are shaped by the stories we hear and the spaces we inhabit. When sensitive men witness others sharing openly, it ignites the courage to speak their own truth. That's why storytelling circles, men's groups, and facilitated interviews are so effective. They provide a container, a sacred pause in the noise of life where men can bring their full selves. One man's story becomes another man's mirror. A truth spoken aloud becomes a shared heartbeat. In men's circles, especially those rooted in psychological safety and emotional intelligence, sensitive men thrive. They feel less alone, more seen, and more grounded. Conversations move from, what do you do, to, what's alive in you today? From, how's work, to where are you struggling right now? These spaces provide a corrective experience, rewriting the narrative that men can't or won't go deep with one another. For many, the HSP men's group has become exactly that kind of healing space. Formed to provide connection, support, and a sense of belonging for highly sensitive men around the world, the group is built on trust, presence, and shared emotional values. Members meet monthly in big tent gatherings open to HSP men worldwide, as well as in smaller regional pod circles. Topics are rich and real: authenticity, shame, purpose, fatherhood, emotional regulation, and much more. Every session is an invitation to bring your whole self, to be respected for your sensitivity rather than dismissed by it. Participants often report a sense of deep relief. For many, it is the first time they've been in a space where other men understand their interior life without judgment. It's not therapy, it's brotherhood. If you've been seeking a way to build meaningful male connections without pretending to be something you're not, this is your invitation. For those ready to begin deepening existing friendships or building new ones, here are some practical tools that work. Initiate a high-low ritual. Share one high point and one low point of your week with a male friend. Invite them to do the same. Go for a walk and talk. Movement often helps men open up emotionally. Use nature as your container. Ask one brave question. Try, what's something you're carrying alone lately? Or, what do you wish someone understood about you? Use reflective prompts together. Consider journaling or discussing questions like, where do I feel most disconnected in life right now? Create a monthly check-in. Start a ritual with one or two men to check in monthly over coffee or Zoom. Friendship, like any meaningful relationship, is built on mutual effort, presence, and time. And while initiating these steps may feel awkward at first, authenticity will always outlast awkwardness. Authentic male connection is not a luxury, it is a lifeline. For highly sensitive men who often feel on the edge of male social life, the yearning for brotherhood is sacred and valid. You deserve spaces where your depth is not misunderstood, where your voice is welcomed, and where your sensitivity is your greatest strength. The HSP Men's Group exists because too many men have waited too long. You do not have to keep waiting. Your people are already gathering, and they're saving you a seat.